What's up? What's up? What's up, beautiful people? How we doing? It's a Monday, first full week being back right here. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, hottest show on the streets here, bringing this to you. Touchdown, Alabama magazine. We're rocking and rolling here on a Monday, getting that week started off for you correctly. You know what time it is? You smash the like button, right? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, make this your show, your place, your opportunity to talk Alabama football right here with your family. Bring your thoughts, your concerns, your happiness, your tears, your events. Bring it all right here so we can chop it up all here together right now on the show. Got a lot to talk about, a lot to dive into. That daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. Taking your phone calls tonight. Y'all see the number 205-448-1358. Light the phone lines up. Want to hear from you. 205-448-1358. One more time. 205-448-1358. Crimson Tide suffering a loss over the weekend to Oklahoma by the score of 21-23. Sooners having 23 there. For Bama, its first loss on homecoming since 2001. For Bama, it now has its first loss in conference play, its second loss overall. We've got so many things to discuss tonight. Number one, how can Ryan Grubb fix this offense? After it came out on fire against Georgia, this offense has struggled to get going as of late. Slow starts, looking very lethargic. How do you solve this? How do you fix this? We'll get into that to start the show off. Then number two, we're going to look at the kicking situation, the field goal kicking situation for the Crimson Tide. I put out a tweet over the weekend after the loss to Oklahoma, and some didn't quite understand what I meant by my tweet on the kicking situation. I will clarify that in topic two so that we all can be on the same page. And then last but not least here, we're looking at Alabama. Where does it stand in regards to the SEC championship game picture in Atlanta and the college football playoff picture? We know the CFP committee will be dropping those rankings on tomorrow, being Tuesday, but we're going to have a conversation about where does Bama stand in regards to those rankings. But like I said, 205-448-1358, the number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show for you, the fan, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We're going to start off here in the chat line right now. My guy, Jackson Johnson, in here, 979. What's up, Crimson Tide Nation? That's my guy from the last word, from the voice of college football right there. Appreciate Jackson helping us out right there. My guy, Waylon, the godfather of the SEC, 1748, showing some love there to Jackson. Absolutely. He's also showing love to the Blue Wrench gang, my guy Waylon right there. We got Patricia Purdue is in here with the What's Up, Stephen. Appreciate you, Patricia, being a part here of the show. And for all of you guys getting your thoughts in Waylon, I hope to make Jackson Johnson our new Blue Wrench member soon. Hey, Jackson, trying to get a part of that Blue Wrench gang. Hey, Jackson, come on in here. Come on in here, be a part of the Blue Wrench Gang family. Absolutely. We're all family here. But 205-448-1358, the number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show. We got my guy, Jay Walker 5, getting us a roll tide. Appreciate Jay Walker 5 helping us out right there. Mike F6613 with the What's Up, roll tide. What's up, Mike F? Happy to have you in here. Going back to Jay Walker, will we see more Rock? That's in Rock Montgomery. I would like to see him, right? I would. Physical offensive lineman from Anniston, came in that 2023 class, a guy that probably the most underrated lineman who came in that class. He came in with Olas Anganin, Caden Proctor, Wilkin Formby, Rock Montgomery came in that 23 class, and I think he needs to have a look at that right guard position. Can play both guard and center, absolutely, but I think Rock needs to have a say. He needs to have an opportunity at that guard position to show what he can do there. We got GT18-68 giving us an RTR. Appreciate GT18-68 being a part here of the show. And all of you guys getting into the conversation. You guys get your chats in, get your thoughts in, get your comments in. Welcome into the show right here. 205-448-1358. That's the number to call in. We're going to take your calls right after this first topic, so hold on through here. 205-448-1358 here. But we're getting it out. Topic number one here tonight of the conversation, that being, how in the world does Ryan Grubb fix this Alabama offense? Because ever since the Georgia game, and it was like this last year with Nick Sheridan as the OC, right? Last year, Bama went out there against Georgia with Jalen Milroe, looked like gangbusters in the first half. Milroe looked like, Heisman Trophy frontrunner, looked like best quarterback to come up in the upcoming draft. That would have been the 2025 NFL draft, which happened this year. I mean, that first half, Alabama looked unstoppable against Georgia, got everything it wanted to have. And in the second half, the offense just went downhill, with the exception of a big 75-yard touchdown play from Milroe to Ryan Williams, and that ended up, winning the game for Alabama over Georgia. And with the exception of the LSU game that season, where Milroe just ran wild on the Tigers defense in Baton Rouge, helping Alabama to a 42-13 win. Bama had no offense last season after the Georgia game, and with the exception of the LSU game. It had no offense. It went downhill. And it's the same thing happening right now. I mean, the Georgia game this season, Alabama's offense coming out there sharp, Ty Simpson hitting weapons. You're even using big Caden Proctor offensively. And ever since the Georgia game, we are seeing Alabama come out slow, lethargic, not fast, not quick, not sharp, 3 and out, or turning the football over. They've got to get this back right. I mean, because of the fact that, look, Auburn is not going to take it easy on you in the Iron Bowl. You got to be sharp against Eastern Illinois as well, but Auburn is not going to take it easy on you in the Iron Bowl. And then provided, should you get to the SEC championship game in Atlanta, and you have to face a Texas A&M, and how Mike Elko has got that team playing, he deserves a contract extension, which he got it, because Elko is doing something that Jimbo Fisher could not do, and that is develop a roster of big-time talent bought by NIL money. Mike Elko has been able to develop all of that talent. So what I'm saying here to you is, Ryan Grubb, you got paid the big bucks. You hooked back up with your guy, your bro, King and the Boar. You got to fix this offense. And here's the reason why. Because if you want to be put in the same conversation as being a cut above coordinator, offensive mind, like the Steve Sarkisians, like the Lane Kiffins, like the Mike Loxleys, like the Brian Dables of the world, you have got to find a way to stop the bleeding where they're struggling here is concerned. And it's not just the run game, it's the pass pro, right? This offensive line, you got to match up the blitzing schemes of the opponent. I mean, Brent Venables brought some exotic stunts, some exotic looks. Bama's offensive line couldn't match the pattern, couldn't pick guys up. Alabama's running backs couldn't pick guys up and get quickly to guys to give Ty Simpson time. And Ty gets decked to the ground. We're seeing fumbles happen. And even down to Ty Simpson, when you see the blitz, have the hot read ready. Or when you see the blitz, throw the ball out of bounds. Like, you've got to protect yourself as well, Ty, with you being the quarterback of this football team. But this all starts with Ryan Grubb. He's known for being creative. He's known for being a guy that likes to have his offense impose its will. this is a situation where you've got to fix this, because Auburn in the Iron Bowl in a couple of weeks, they're going to look to take the same thing that Oklahoma did defensively and implement that against you at Jordan-Hare. And we already know the type of atmosphere over there, the type of environment over there. I don't have to explain this to you as an Alabama fan. You already know. So DJ Durkin would want nothing more than to take what Brent Venables did defensively, implement that, and get more heat to Ty Simpson, implement that, create more takeaways for Auburn, implement that, have Ty Simpson rattle more, implement that, and be able to not only make this game competitive a couple of weeks from now, but possibly be able to pull off an upset here against Alabama. So for Ryan Grubb, I think the number one thing you got to do to fix this is you've got to have some type of continuity up front on your offensive line, pass pro-wise. You got to have some type of continuity pass pro-wise. You got to have some type of communication pass pro-wise. You got to have some type of juice and energy pass pro-wise. And this is not just the offensive line, but it's the running backs. Jam Miller, Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley, whoever you put out there at running back, you've got to stick your guy who's coming on the blitz. You have got to give Ty Simpson time to throw the football. And Ty Simpson, when you see that the clock, that the opportunity is starting to dwindle, you got to chunk the ball away. You got to chunk the ball away, play the next play, and protect your body. So it's all hands on deck here when you look at in terms of matching the different blitzes, the different looks that you could be seeing, offensively. That's number one. Number two is even with a struggling run game, if you did not have a dominant run game prior to this moment, you're not going to have a dominant run game now. The very best you can do is find some life. And right now, the best life that you have in your run game is Daniel Hill. Continue to work him in as RB1. Continue to have him, press the hole, hit the hole, get up and down the field, find some way to generate something every time out. That's the number two thing that you can do, is find ways to have your run game show some type of life. It's not going to be elite. It's not going to be dominant, but find ways to have your run game show some type of life. And I think number three is these wide receivers getting back confidence, because Josh Cuevas was the only guy really out there doing something against Oklahoma. Like Jeremy Bernard dropped passes he would normally catch. Ryan Williams, this has not been a great year for him. Lottie Brooks has done some nice things. Isaiah Horton, thinking that you would probably see more from him being a transfer coming in. He's done some good things. He's had some tough moments also. Getting this wide receiver core on track, right? Getting some easy things for this wide receiving core to get the confidence back up, because entering the season, that was the best part, or that was the most talented part of his offense, right? Was the group of wide receivers. So getting that group back involved and starting fast, having a run game that game by game produces some kind of life, Ryan Grubb. And then last but not least here, when you're facing teams that are going to give you these exotic looks, blitzes, all that type of thing right there, being able to match the pattern. If you can be able to match the pattern and pick those things up and protect the football, no turnovers, and protect the football, those things Ryan Grubb needs to do to have this offense get back on track here, because since the Georgia game, this group has been struggling and need to have this group here get back on track. But we're going to take our first break here, a quick one. When we get back, we're going to go on the phone lines to grab your calls, your thoughts. Bring the energy tonight, 205-448-1358. I'm going to call in 205-448-1358. We go to your phone calls after this.
you an Alabama fan?
I sure am, Roll Tide.
Do you have the TDA app to stay up to date with Alabama football news?
No, I don't.
Well, you're not a real Alabama fan, are you, buddy?
If you're a true Alabama football fan, you should have this app. Get all of your Crimson Tide updates, news, and information all in one app with notifications straight to your phone. The TDA app, the app for Alabama football fans.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed now and enable notifications to make sure you don't miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right. We're back into the action here from the break on a Monday. How to show on these streets here, talking your Bama football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Appreciate you guys being in here. Hit the like button, smash that subscribe button, jump in the comment section. Let your voice be made heard, made known tonight on the show. That daily Super Chat go $100 daily. Super Chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. But right now, we go to the phone lines to grab our first call of the night. And guess what, baby? You are live on the show. What's happening? How we feel? And state your name. Where you calling from?
Jackson Johnson from Meridianville, Alabama. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Jackson, man, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Did not like the loss to Oklahoma, but this is where you turn the page. You turn the page, and if you're Ryan Grubb, you got paid the big money. You've got to figure out how to fix the slow, lethargic starts of this offense.
Oh, no doubt about it. Like, we have to make sure our running game is good enough, especially against Auburn. But luckily, we've got our practice game on Saturday against Eastern Illinois. We'll be able to bring in a lot of our second and third string guys around the third, fourth quarter. And I think we're going to be taking a lot of our anger out on Eastern Illinois on Saturday. So we're going to pummel them 59-10, I believe.
And that'd be a good thing, Jackson, to take some anger out, take some frustration out. But the main thing that I want to see is the run game have confidence, right? The pass protection have confidence, and being able to have your offensive linemen that you are confident in pass pro, have the running backs pick up in pass pro, because that following week, you go to Auburn. You go to Jordan-Hare the following week after Eastern Illinois. And like I said, that there is nothing more that DJ Durkin and the Auburn faithful would want more than to spoil the good thing you got going on while punching its own ticket for a bowl game. So for Alabama, this is more than just having a big confidence game against Eastern Illinois, but also preparing to, let's take this energy, let's take this juice into Jordan-Hare and silence an environment that we all know is different. It's crazy.
Oh, for sure. Because like Auburn, and it was like my guy Jeffrey Only Talk Sports was saying about Auburn. It's basically 2-game season for them. 2 games they get up for are Alabama and Georgia. They're not going to get up for Mercer. And it was funny, though. I was talking with my good buddy, with our good buddy Trevion Ware and my good buddy Jeffrey tonight, and I told him I'm tempted to just pick Mercer to beat Auburn, because I feel like Auburn's not going to get up for Mercer. They're not going to. It's like 2023. They let themselves get chewed up like a chicken nugget against New Mexico State, and they're not going to be thinking about Mercer in the least bit. And if they were to wind up winning out, I guarantee you Auburn's not going to be thinking about their bowl game. That's how they are. They only bring their A game for us and Georgia. And Florida's the same way. They bring their A game against Georgia and the Tennessee Volunteers when they play in Gainesville. And I can't even believe that this weekend we even need Tennessee to beat Florida in Gainesville this Saturday to help our strength of schedule tiebreaker. Because I'm thinking to myself, good Lord, we have to rely on Tennessee to beat Florida in Gainesville. Oh, Lord. They have not beaten Florida since the dark ages of the internet in 2003.
That's why, Jackson, what was something that Coach Saban, we're doing this time in Alabama, Nick Saban would always say, you don't leave things up to external factors. You never leave things up to external. You handle your business, you take care of your business, and if you take care of your business, then you got nothing to worry about. But when you don't handle your job, you leave things up to external factors, whether it be in other teams have to beat other teams to help you, whether it be the college football playoff committee has to rule in your favor. You never want to leave things up to external factors.
No, you don't. You don't want to do that. That is for sure.
But absolutely. But Jackson, man, appreciate the call, man. Hey, continue to enjoy the show, man. You have a great night, brother.
You too, good buddy. And you stay safe, stay warm. It's cold out. I have no idea what this Alabama weather is going to bring us. 1 minute it's hot, and then the next minute it's cold. It doesn't even know what it wants. That's the thing about it.
It's Alabama weather, but that's my guy, Jackson Johnson, voice of college football, calling us in to start off the show here on a Monday, 205-448-1358. But I'm going to call in to let your voice be made known on the show. If you got a thought, you got an idea, you got a suggestion, you just want to call and vent, here is your opportunity. 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We definitely want to hear from you. We dive back now to the chat line. We got to my girl Faith Thomas, 1749, checking in from California. Appreciate Faith right there. Jackson Johnson, let's get this show to the $100 super chat. Y'all heard Jackson. Get it up there. That $100 super chat go, daily super chat go, $100 right there. We appreciate that from all of you. GTA team, at the end of the day, we need to execute on a more consistent basis offensively and protect the football. True. You got to execute the offensive game plan. The only thing Ryan Grubb can do is design the play and call it up. The players in the field, you have got to execute that plan offensively. Absolutely. Mike F. 6613 says, amen, sir. Appreciate that right there from Mike F. He also says, Ty needs to get rid of the ball faster or throw it away. Find the hot read. If you're being blitzed, find the hot read. Whether it's a screen, a slant, a hitch route, don't care. Find the hot read. A dump off in the flat, find the hot read if you're being blitzed. Or two, throw it away. They got a free rusher, unimpeded, coming to you. You don't feel like I'm going to be able to get this ball to my playmaker. Chunk that sucker out of bounds and play the next play, period. Appreciate Mike for his thought right there. GT18, or just take the sack. Better than turn it over. Take the sack in terms of having two hands on the ball to protect the ball. GT18, I can agree with you there on that one. Zachary, BenX5443 writes in, sorry, but if Carroll does his job, Ty gets that throw off. Carroll didn't even touch the blitzer. That goes back to Zachary matching the pass pattern by the offensive line. Carroll didn't match the pass pattern on that blitz. The guy got around Carroll. He lined up way outside of Carroll. Carroll didn't move quick enough. And the young freshman, that's a growing moment for him. Got to be able to move quickly, get out there, pick up your guy coming on the blitz there. We got Mike right back in. Auburn is going to be up no matter what the record is, period. That's what I'm saying here. This Iron Bowl, you got to be ready. You got to be ready for Eastern Illinois this week right here. But that Iron Bowl against Auburn, you've got to be up, ready, and prepared because Auburn is going to treat this as the Super Bowl, right? And while they're looking for head coaches right now, DJ Durkin, he goes out there and has this competitive matchup or even pulls out an upset here that is to happen. If that even happens, then definitely Auburn's going to want to offer him the head coaching job here. Let's see. Andre called 1793. What's up, Andre? Writes in, please get a solid O-line, pick 5, and let's roll minus Formby. Look, so get you a solid 5. I agree with that. Get you a solid 5. but get you a 5 that all 5 bring the juice. That's all I'm saying. Get you a good 5, but have each one of those 5 bring that energy, bring that toughness, bring that physicality to the table. That's all I asked for. Appreciate you, Andre, for your thoughts there. GT18, better running game would take some of that pressure off Ty too. A better running game would, GT, but the thing is, if it hasn't been good leading up to this point, chances are it's not going to be good down the stretch. All you can do is generate some form of one now. You got to generate some form. Now, against Oklahoma, Bama outrushed the Sooners 80-74. But like I said, at this point, you got to generate some form of a run game. Appreciate you, GT, giving your thoughts right there on the show. Let's see here. Zachary writes back in. Anyone else notice whenever we get a big run outside, we just run straight into the middle for no gain? Oh, so my thing with that, Zachary, is if the outside run is working, stick with that. If the outside run's working, stick with that. And then as teams try to go back to setting that edge, then you run it back inside, right? You go outside, outside, outside. And once they stop that outside, okay, now pop one back inside, right? So I don't know why this team, when you get a big chunk play on the outside, and you try to go back inside, well, that defense mind is still focused on the inside. So continue to go outside, 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 and force the retention outside. Then you can pop one inside. Appreciate Zachary there for his thought there. But we got Fat Mac 0658. Let's go, baby. Fat Mac. Ty gives defenses chances every game. Oklahoma just finally caught. Look, true. So, like I said, this offense has been on a slow start since the Georgia game. And Ty has his role. He plays in that. Other opponents did not capitalize on those. Oklahoma capitalized. Brent Venables and this defense capitalized. So now you go back to the table, you go back to the drawing board, and you've got to play effective. You got to play efficient. You got to play clean. Most importantly, you got to get off to scoring points in your early drives. Get into the end zone on your early drives. Mike writes back in, Mike F6613. Jam Miller hasn't been the same since his injury. It's like he's playing scared. Jam has not been the same since the injury. He has not. And that's a question. That is a concern because even in pass pro, which is the best part of his game, he has whiffed. He has missed on some blocks and pass protection. So that's why I said at this point, your best back is Daniel Hill because I don't know why the team did not play A.K. Deer against Oklahoma. I would have loved to have seen him get some burn, but he did not get any burn. And that kind of tells you what the coaching staff thinks. They're not trying to go, I guess, with A.K. Deer. So right now, Daniel Hill is your best back. He is RB1, at this point. Sweet Home Bama 24. Sweet Home Bama 24 giving me a roll, Todd. Appreciate you, Sweet Home Bama, helping us out here on the show. Mike gets back in. We got to keep moving 1 week at a time. Everything's still in reach for SEC championship and the college football playoff. Everything is still in reach. Now, for the SEC championship, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later, you may need some help, Mike F. Bama's going to need some help, but everything is still in reach. I do agree with that. Samuel Mullins writes in, we need just a healthy four touchdowns from Ty and 100 yards from Jan and Daniel Hill. So Sam is saying we need a healthy game of 4 touchdowns from Ty Simpson and a 100-yard performance from Jam and Daniel Hill. Is that Jam and Daniel Hill combined there or Jam and Daniel Hill individually there, Sam? But I see your point there. That would get the offense back on track there. Let's see here. Guy in a public bathroom and on speaker. Not in a public bathroom here. I don't know. Sully, what are you saying there, Sully? What are you saying there, Sully? What are you saying there? Just let me know what you're talking about there, Sully, because not quite understanding that there. Let's see. GT18 says, true, I miss the days of just taking care of business and making everyone else create these scenarios. I mean, that's the thing. Not leaving anything to outside things, external factors. Handle your business, take care of your business, take care of your job. You handle your business, you handle your job, everything else will take care of itself. Let's see here. Jay Walker writes in, stop switching out the right side to find two people that can block and a running back that can pick up a blitz. So yeah, you can't be switching out the right side. Jay Walker, you're correct. Find you a right guard and one right tackle, roll with them, and then make sure that running back can pick up the blitz there and pass pro. That's the main thing. Don't be switching and swatching. Find your two guys on the right side of an offensive line that you trust and pass pro. Get those two guys out there and then have you a running back that can pick up the pass protection as well. Appreciate all of you guys getting your thoughts in. Get your thoughts in. Absolutely. Andre writing in, got to do better on offense or we will wind up 9-3. Look, got to do better on offense or you'll wind up 9-3 and out of the college football playoff again. Because remember, the college football playoff committee, they didn't give Bama a break last year. And at 9-3, Bama didn't get in. And it could be the same thing this time around if Ryan Grubb and this offense with Ty Simpson doesn't wake up. So this offense needs to wake up to prevent another 9-3 and possibly missing on the playoff again here. We got Cody Heath, 5150 writes in, hey, Stephen M. Smith, what's your concern with Alabama special teams? I know we have 3 other kickers. Do you think Talty should be benched because of his actions and maybe use the other kickers? I'm going to get into the kicking situation in topic 2, but I will say this. Talty is struggling. He's inconsistent right now. He is 11 of 8. He's 11 of 17 on the season. He's missed 5 field goals from within 40 yards. And that's your scholarship when you talk about kicking within 40 yards. Like, if you can make 50-plus yards, that's gravy. That's just more to love. But to me, when you're put on scholarship, anything 40 yards and in needs to be automatic. That's just me. Anything 40 yards and in should be good as gold. And with Talty, he's missed 5 field goals from 40 yards and in. 11 of 16. That's not good. I understand going back to the matchup against Oklahoma, the snap was high, and the Oklahoma defender jumped over the line of scrimmage trying to block it. But Blake Dowd, the punter, got the snap down, spun the laces away. At that point, Connor Talty, make the kick. At that point, make the kick. And you didn't make the kick. So I feel like he's been struggling. I know DeBoer said, we got confidence in him. Look, find somebody else that can make the field goal. Find somebody else, because you, as Alabama fans, you are back to holding your breath when it comes to a kicker. You're back to saying little chants to help yourself cope when the kicker is up there. And Will Reichert got rid of that for you. And now Reichert's in the NFL now, and you're dealing with Connor Talty, and you're back to having to hold your breath when the kicker is up there. But there you go. You got KG, the producer 94 in here. At this point, I don't see how it will hurt to get more backs in there, because all of them have been struggling in pass pro. Look, I mean, I don't see how it would hurt to get A.K. Deere in some pass pro. I mean, I don't see how it would hurt to get Dre Washington, which you brought Dre Washington out of the portal. I mean, and you're not even using him offensively, but you brought him out of the portal. Don't quite understand that. But, I mean, I see your point there, KG. I mean, it shouldn't be a problem using more guys since you got guys that are on the roster. Here we go. Keith Holcomb writes in, kick was nowhere close. I mean, it wasn't. It was nowhere close. And like I said, you are back to, as an Alabama fan, literally holding your breath when the kicker goes up there. So Talty's been struggling inside of 40 yards. Something has to be changed there. CN City right here says, Steven, I swear these guys don't want it enough. And that's another thing, is the factor of how bad do you want it toughness-wise? How bad do you want it physicality? How bad do you want to win? And before the game against Oklahoma, what did one of the Sooners players say? They put us down for their homecoming. We're going to see about that. We're going to drive down. We're going to come down and show them. Oklahoma took that personal. They took that as disrespect being put down on the schedule for Bama's homecoming. Homecoming 101 is you schedule a team that's easy, that you can just take their cookies from, because you just take the cookies from them because it's homecoming. You schedule an easy team. So Oklahoma felt like, hey, y'all think we easy. We're going to come down here and show y'all. And for the second year in a row, you give a game. Oklahoma didn't take it from you. You gift wrapped the game to Oklahoma. You've combined 2 games, 7 turnovers. Yeah, 3 last year, 4 this year. Appreciate Sin City Bama boy for that point there. We get at 1980, Jeremiah T in here writes in, when Quay gets back, do you leave Pierre in the same spot, move over to the inside, and let Quay man on the other side? I can see that. Now, Quay could have played against Oklahoma. He was a game-time decision. But, this week in the Iron Bowl against Auburn, he definitely should play. I would leave Yanze Pierre where he is. Yeah, I can see Overton being moved inside, and then Quay Russaw man the other spot just to get another pass rusher on the field, just to get another sack specialist on the field, just to get another guy that can affect the opposing team's quarterback on the field. So at 1980 Jeremiah T, I can see that. Good point right there coming from you. Let's see here. Arnold Hurd 1. Jam Miller needs to be benched. Hey, there's a thought there for Kagan DeBoer. There's a thought there for this offense. Do you bench Jam? I mean, Jam, of all of them, is your best in pass pro. But like I said, he struggled here in recent games in that department. Do you make that call? That'd be something for Kagan DeBoer. That'd be something for Ryan Grubb and this team to think about. But 205-448-1358. And I'm going to call in. 205-448-1358 is that number. 205-448-1358. If you got thoughts, you got questions, number right there at the bottom of the screen for us to take your phone calls here. But right now, we're going to take another break here on the show. When we get back, we'll get into topic 2. And this is me clarifying a tweet that I had over the weekend that had everybody on social media coming at me. I clarify this tweet on the kicking game right after this.
You and Alabama.
Sure am, roll.
Do you have the TDA app to stay up to date with Alabama football news?
No, I don't.
You're not a real Alabama fan, are you?
If you're a true Alabama fan, you should have this all of your Crimson updates, news, and information all in one app with notifications straight to your phone. The TDA app for Alabama football fans.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribe now and enable notifications to make sure you don't miss any of the best of Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, what's up? We're back into the action here, folks, from the break. Hottest show in the streets on a Monday, talking your Bama football news in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. That daily Super Chat go $100, daily Super Chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that comment from all of you. Smash the like button. Give us that thumbs up right there. Hit that subscribe button as well. Make this your show, your place for all things Bama football conversation. But getting the topic too here. So over the weekend, after Alabama's loss to Oklahoma, I put up a post on X, social media, concerning the kicking game. And a lot of people took it as it was me taking a shot at King and DeBoer, which that was not the case at all. It was misunderstood there. So basically what I was saying was, when Nick Saban needed to get a kicker, when enough was enough and he needed to have a big-time kicker, he went out and got it done in Will Reichert. And I mentioned how, King and DeBoer, it is your time to go out here and recruit a big-time kicker. And the reason why I said that is having an elite kicker can change the game. Having an elite kicker can really help you. Having an elite kicker that can consistently step up there and make field goals, that is a marquee weapon. And we knew in the Saban era, Saban struggled with this, finding an elite kicker, right? I mean, I know he coached Lee Tiffin 2007 through 09, but Tiffin was a Shunga recruit. Mike Shunga in 2006 got Tiffin to Alabama. Tiffin struggled 06, 07, 08. He made some improvements. 09 was Tiffin's best season. Went 30 for 35 on field goals, 87.9%. All-American first team All-SEC, helped Alabama win a national championship in the BCS era. But the first kickers that Saban went out and got, remember, Jeremy Shelley and Cade Foster. Cade Foster was awful. Cade Foster was awful. I mean, I before the show, I went back and I watched some Alabama missed field goal compilations on YouTube. That was Cade Foster. Not good. Not good. So many misses from Cade Foster. But Jeremy Shelley, who was the short range kicker, I mean, he was pretty solid. I mean, it was solid. 2012, went 11 for 11, perfect that year. Bama won a national championship and SEC title. 2011, he was 21 for 27, which is 77%. But that 2011 year, the national championship game against LSU, redeemed himself by making 5 of 7 field goals, helping you win 21-0. So Shelley was pretty decent. Shelley was good. And then we all remember the story of Adam Griffith. Oh, Griff, Griff from Poland, adopted by this family in Calhoun, Georgia, made a game-winning field goal to win a state championship game in high school. He comes to Alabama. Everybody's like, he's the one. And, Griff had some ups. He was up and down too. When Griff was healthy, he was okay. When he was not healthy and when he was off, Griff was off. I mean, Griff, career-wise, made 71% of his kicks. 71%, Griff. I mean, 2015, he did have the moment where against LSU where he made the 55-yard field goal. And we were all shocked, like, whoa, he made it. But he actually did make it. And we saw in the national championship game where he executed the perfect pooch kick against Clemson, which Marlon Humphrey recovered that. But Griff, in terms of career, not elite. He was okay. I mean, had some injuries, was okay, right? And then after Griff, you had Joseph Bulovas, which was, You had Austin Jones, who was missing extra points. She was like, You had Andy Papanastis, who the terrible shank in the national championship game against Georgia, like, And then when enough became enough, Nick Saban was like, look, I got to get a real deal kicker. I got to get somebody who I can trust to put 3 points on the board. And in walks Will Reichert, 2019 from Hoover, and a guy that came in confidently saying, I am going to end the kicking woes, and by God, he did. And this is the most impressive about Reichert. Reichert, for his career at Alabama, made 86% of field goals. 86% was 80 for 93. It's big. 2020, the COVID year, he was perfect, 14 of 14. His only off year kind of was 2021, where he went 22 for 28. That's 78%. But the other 2 years he made 80% or better, 2022 and 2023. So, I mean, Reichert was the guy. And you got a chance to grow with Reichert if you're an Alabama fan. You got a chance to see not just the full-blown maturation of him, but you got a chance to fully get the picture of when he's up there, I'm not worried about a field goal. I know he's going to make it. Like when Riker went up there, it was, I can go use the bathroom. I can go pop some popcorn. I can go get something to eat. 16 up there, Riker, I ain't worried about it. He going to make the kick. He going to make the kick more times than not. He going to make the kick. And even when he missed, he hit the ball so well, you just thought he was going to make it. So he had that kind of confidence. Reichert had that kind of confidence and is kicking well in the NFL right now. I know last year Bama had Graham Nicholson, and Graham was good, former Groza Award winner at University of Miami of Ohio. Nicholson went 8 of 10 last year, 80%. But gotta find your next real deal kicker here if you're King of the Board. And whether that's in the transfer portal, hey, that's fine. Or whether it's recruiting a freshman, that's fine. But my tweet was not me taking a shot at King of the Board. My tweet was honestly for, Bama needs another big-time kicker. Bama needs another elite kicker because Talty, 11 of 17 overall. He's missed 5 field goals from inside 40 yards. That's not going to cut the mustard. It's not going to work when you're missing 20-yard field goals and 33-yard field goals. Those things should be automatic, right? Should be. So that's what I'm saying. Saban had his struggles with it, but he was able to go out there, get a Will Reichert, and you were able to grow with that, and you saw the dividends that paid off there in your kicking game. So all I'm saying here, Coach DeBoer, whether it's the transfer portal, you go that route again, or whether it's recruiting somebody as a freshman, got to have a kicker in this program that the fans can get behind, that will go out there and that will consistently make kicks to build that confidence, to build that trust, to build that growth there and development. But that's just my thoughts. Just had to come over here and address that situation after the tweet I put out over the weekend after the loss to Oklahoma. So hopefully Bama can get a kicker in here. Connor Talty struggling here as of now. But we go to another break here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we return to the phone lines and we get your chats, we get your talk, we get your conversations, your thoughts right here. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back right after this. Take your calls. You're listening In My Own Words. We'll be right back.
You an Alabama.
Sure am, roll.
Do you have the TDA app to stay up to date with Alabama football news?
No, I don't.
You're not a real Alabama fan, are you?
If you're a true Alabama fan, you should have this app. Get all of your Crimson Tide updates and information all in one app with notifications straight to your phone. The TDA app, the app for Alabama football fans.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribe now and enable notifications to make sure you don't miss any of the best of Alabama football news and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, baby. We're back, rocking and rolling in the action from the break here on a Monday. Number one show for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. First full week back right here with you. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. Appreciate that from all of you. The phone lines are open. 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be heard on the show. 205-448-1358. I want to hear from you tonight. Get your thoughts in. 205-448-1358. Number right there at the bottom of the screen. And as you guys are getting yourself together to get those calls in, we're going to continue with our chat line right here. Cody Heath 5150 writes in, do you think, Steven, that Grubb should have used a tight end as a fullback when Bama play action to Ty Simpson, to step back when OU blitzes and put pressure on Ty? Should Grubb have used a tight end? I could see it. I mean, that would have worked if Grubb would have used a tight end. It didn't have to be Cuevas. It could have been Cuevas, but you could have used Jay Lindsey in that situation. Could have used Caleb Edwards. Could have used Marshall Pritchett. Could have used any of those guys in that situation. So, I mean, he could have put a tight end right there to help out and be in that fullback role, Cody. Absolutely. And that might be something that Ryan Grubb may consider doing forward. GT18, going back to Jeremiah T's point, hey, it's a good situation to have Rousseau and Pierre. I'll take that. And that goes back to having maybe move LT Overton inside, have Pierre man one side, and Quay Rousseau man the other to have another pass rusher on the field. I dig that. To put another edge rusher on the field, I'll take that. To have another guy that can affect the opposing team's quarterback, I'm good with that. So good point right there. We got right here, we got fruit salad, yummy, 67, 68 right there. I feel like we fixed the run blocking. I feel like we fixed the run blocking problem. Well, Bama did a little better with the run against Oklahoma. Would like to see more. Would like to see a bit more consistently. But I feel like it did a little better against Oklahoma, being that it outrushed the Sooners 80-74. But that's not saying too much, seeing how both teams came in with a struggling rushing attack anyway. But it was a little better. I want to see more improvement as we continue. We got Andre Call writes in, play more Daniel Hill and let him get rolling. That's the thing. Play more Daniel Hill, let that guy get rolling. He may not be your most explosive back, but he's your most physical. He presses the hole. He's got good vision, gets up and down the field. Play him. Let him continue to get rolling. Let him continue to cook right now as he's your best back on the roster at this point. Let's see here. We got Roll Tide and Rise Up. Let's go. Roll Tide family. Roll Tide and Rise Up in here. Let's do it. Oh, we got my girl, Monica Petaway is in here. What's up, Stephen? Welcome back. Hey, Monica, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back right here. I got my people back in here. Let's see. At 1980 Jeremiah T. I never thought the defense on this year's squad would be outperforming the offense. I kind of saw it, Jeremiah T, because of the fact that you have so many coaches on this defense that have something to prove. Freddie Roach has something to prove. Chuck Morrell has something to prove. Maurice Linguist has something to prove. You got a lot of guys on this defense with something to prove. So I kind of had a feeling that at some point, this year's defense, even Kane Womack himself, has something to prove. So I kind of had a feeling at some point this year's defense would outperform this year's offense. Kind of had a feeling that would probably happen. GT18 writes in, Talty got a little salty, didn't he? The snapper just ignored him and kept running toward the locker room. He said, I'm out here. Look, I think Talty was upset with the snap. I think Talty was upset with himself for missing the kick. The snap wasn't great, but at the same time, like I said, Blake Dowd, the punter, did his job. Got the high snap, brought it down, spent the laces. Talty just kicked the ball. At this point, just kick the ball, period. But he was a little salty there at the snapper. I did see that GT18. Big Bama, 10-6-60 with a Roll Tide. Appreciate you, Big Bama, helping us out right there. Roll Tide and Rise Up, shouting out GT18. Guys, show the love there. Let's see. At 1980, Jeremiah T, I thought we were destined to win the Natty because our field goal kicker was bad. So, now, some people look at it, Jeremiah, that way. Ooh, you got a bad field goal kicker. We missing field goals again. We're destined to win the national championship. Well, look, I'll say this. I'll say this. You still got to take care of Auburn. Take care of Auburn first. Then when you look at the SEC championship game, and I'll explain this scenario later, you got to have some help there from teams losing. But right now, take care of Eastern Illinois and Auburn first. Sully writes in, Will Reichert spoiled us. That he did, man. Will Reichert spoiled us. Boy, did Reichert spoil us. And he's having a fine career in the NFL right now for those Minnesota Vikings. Let's see here. Jeremiah writes back in, what year is our punter? He's reliable and good. Blake Dowd is a transfer from D2. I think he's a senior. I think this is his last year. I want to say this is his last year. He came from a D2 program. He's a senior. He came over from a D2 program. So I think Blake Dowd is a senior. Yeah, I think this is his last year. I'm going to check that to be sure, but I believe he is a senior, Jeremiah T. But I will check that. Let's see. We got my guy, Marquise Washington, 3928. Steven, my dude, it's good to see you. Roll Tide, welcome back. Hey, good to be back, Marquise. Good to be back. Good to be back rolling. With every last one of you, the Bama fans, 205-448-1358. That's the number to call in right there to get your voice be made known. 205-448-1358. Keith Holcomb, 3012, writes in. Let's be real, the kicker sucks. Keith Holcomb is just going to call a spade a spade. Keith Holcomb is just going to let the chopper and all the banana clips fall. Let's be real. The kicker is not it. Talty has not had a good year. He's just not had a good year. He's not had a good year. So, I mean, you got to get you a real deal kicker in here. Absolutely. How about Marquise is in there with that $10 donation? Marquise Washington dropping that $10 in the bucket right there. Appreciate the love there coming from Marquise. Big Bama says he agrees. What do you agree with there, Big Bam? Let me know what you agree with there, but I appreciate you agreeing there. Let's see. Robert Crawford writes in, I remember when all the Alabama fans was mad because Jalen Milroe couldn't throw the ball 5 to 15 yards. Now we have a quarterback who can throw 5 to 15 yards, but can't throw it down. Be careful what you hope. Well, look, so Ty Simpson can throw it down the field. He can throw it down the field. We saw this earlier in the season. The thing is, you have to have everybody doing their job. Offensive line's got to do its job in pass blocking. Running backs have to do their job in blitz pickup. Ty has to do his job in reading everything properly and getting the ball out. Receivers have to do their job. Tight ends too, running the right route. Everybody's got to do their job. Everybody's got to do their job. Appreciate Robert for his point there. Here's Monica Petaway. I'm glad Russo is back. Is it me or are these players coming back scared after an injury? Ryan hasn't been himself, neither has Jam Miller. That's something. And Monica Petaway, you bring up a good point. Ryan's been off. Jam's been off. And you bring up a good point there, Monica. Is it coming back scared and not wanting to get hurt again? That is something to think about. That is something to think about. And you think about that also with Quay Russo coming back. You don't want him coming back playing scared either. You don't want that. You want him coming back playing with that level of ferocity that we're seeing Yanze Pierre play with. So, Monica, you make a good point. You're seeing Jam not pressing, not running angry as he needs to. You're seeing Ryan Williams. He hasn't been the same coming back from being dinged up, banged up. Yes, he's been a play here and there, but you're not seeing the same explosiveness. You're not seeing the same burst. You're just not seeing the same caliber of player there. So good point there, Monica, that you have brought up there. Keith Holcomb writes in, this is my dream. I want to see a football team where the offense and defense and special teams are all working together. How nice that would be. Hey, when everything, Keith, is working in cohesion, it's pretty. Boy, is it pretty. And we're just waiting on that for Alabama, right? For everything to all come into cohesiveness. That's what we're waiting for right now. When will it come? That remains the question, but that is what we're waiting on right now. We got my girl Latoya Bellamy, Roll Tide Country Cuz. Oh, hey, Roll Tide, Latoya. Roll Tide to you. Absolutely. Happy to have you in here. Happy to have you in here. GTA team responded to Monica Petaway. He goes, yes, I think so. It's definitely a mental hurdle to try to get over. Hopefully they will bounce back eventually. When you get hurt, that is a mental hurdle because you're trying to prevent yourself from getting injured again while at the same time you want to go out there and play, carefree, but you do have reserves about what if I get hurt again? What if I go down again? It's a slippery slope. It's a fine line of being able to lock in and still play the game, not having the thought of your mind of you getting hurt. Big Bama writes in Russo with Pierre is what he agrees with, having Russo and Pierre in there at the same time. Cody writes back in, Cody Heath 5150. I think Coach Grubb used the wrong running backs for different offensive schemes. So Hill and Washington and Young should use run up the middle, Miller and Deere as your outside guys for sweeps and pitches. Cody, Cody, put that on a piece of paper and hand that to Ryan Grubb, please. Cody, put that on a piece of paper and hand that to Grubb so that Grubb can see this. Use Daniel Hill, Dre Washington, and Richard Young on up the middle because of how big and physical they are, and use Miller and Deere on outside runs. So Cody Heath, put that on a piece of paper, and let's get that to my guy Ryan Grubb so he can see this. Chuck Baker writes in, they look like they've been eating too much ice cream. Now, Chuck, I don't think the ice cream truck's back out there, man. I don't think the ice cream truck's back out there, man. I can assure you, I can 100% assure you that the ice cream truck is not back out there. I can assure you of that. It's not back out there. Let's see here. We got GT18. D-Law wasn't himself for a bit after he came back from injury, but he's played great for several games. Now he's himself again. That's a good point. D-Law wasn't himself when he first came back, but now D-Law is looking like the best he's looked since being at Alabama. So that's a good point. Deontay Lawson is playing good. He is playing good ball. He's playing well right now. So GT, good point by you. Andre Call writes in, I can't take another season. We don't make it to the playoff. You can't have that much talent and don't know how to use it. And I'm going to get into that to wrap up the show here. You got to make the playoff if you're Kagan DeBoer. You go back-to-back seasons not making the playoff, you as Bama fans are going to be really frustrated with him. If he goes back-to-back years without a playoff, then you as Bama fans are really not going to be happy with what he is doing right now in terms of the program. Let's go here. GT18, I think you have it exactly right. Great point going to Cody. And what he said about having Richard Young, Daniel Hill, Dre Washington as guys that run up the middle and have A.K. Deere, Jim Miller run to the outside. Well, appreciate all of you guys getting your thoughts in, getting your questions tonight. We're going to go to our final break here. When we come back, we wrap things up with Bama. Where is it? SEC Championship, college football playoff big picture here after the loss to Oklahoma. We'll touch on that and round things out right after this.
You in Alabama.
Sure am, roll.
Do you have the TDA app to stay up to date with Alabama football news?
No, I don't.
You're not a real Alabama fan, are you?
If you're a true Alabama fan, you should have this app. Get all of your Crimson Tide updates, and information all in one app with notifications straight to your phone. The TDA app for Alabama football fans.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you have subscribe now and enable notifications to make sure you don't miss any of the best Alabama football news information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, we are wrapping things up here as we're back to the action from the break. Hottest show on the streets here for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Before we get into final topic of discussion, guys, shout out the TDA app. If you don't have the app, the Touchdown Alabama magazine app, you need to get your hands on that. Best news, notes, information on your Bama football right there. The TDA app. You got great stories there from Justin Smith, who does a phenomenal job in terms of recruiting, in terms of covering this team this season. He's been outstanding. Good stuff from Matthew, who's one of the new guys to TDA. He's been outstanding as well. Eli Walker, what he does. John Ivory, my guy, who's an outstanding video producer extraordinaire. Everybody with TDA, you got to check out that TDA app. Get your hands on that. Make that a part of your everyday lifestyle to keep yourself up to date and abreast on what's happening here with the Alabama football program. But final topic here, where is Alabama in the SEC title game / college football playoff picture after the loss to Oklahoma? That's a good question. So we know the College Football Playoff Committee will be convening on tomorrow to drop or release a new list here of rankings. We know Alabama is going to drop in those rankings, whether it be 8, 9, or 10 remains to be seen here. However, where does Alabama stand in all of this? So for the Southeastern Conference Championship game, which will be in Atlanta, this is where I feel about that. If Bama takes care Eastern Illinois and Auburn, and it gets help from Ole Miss. If Ole Miss loses to Mississippi State, right? And I think if Ole Miss loses to Mississippi State, Bama should get into the SEC championship game, because if Ole Miss loses to State, then you would have Ole Miss would have 2 conference losses, and then Bama, Georgia would both have 1. Bama beat Georgia in the head-to-head, so that should send Bama to Atlanta. So you would need Ole Miss to lose to Mississippi State, and you need to beat Auburn. That'll be for the SEC championship. And so, but that's for you guys that want Bama in the SEC championship. There's a lot of you that do not want Bama in that championship at all. Just go to the playoff, and for that, all you have to do is beat Auburn. You beat Eastern Illinois, you beat Auburn, you're 10-2, you're in the playoff, because we saw this last year. 10-2 teams got in, 9-3 teams, not so much. So you got to take care of Eastern Illinois, and you got to take care of Auburn. So that's going to be the main thing for Alabama to get into the playoff. But the SEC championship game, you take care of Eastern Illinois and Auburn. You got to get some help from Ole Miss losing. Some saying you got to have Tennessee beat Florida. So that makes Alabama's strength of schedule even better, because Alabama beat Tennessee. It's a whole bunch of tiebreaker scenarios going right now. But for me, if it was just me, I would say the big thing you need is for Ole Miss to lose to Mississippi State. Bama, you beat Auburn. That would send Bama to the SEC championship game. For those of you that don't want Bama in the SEC championship game, just beat Auburn, and you're on your way to the college football playoff. That's just how that would roll right there. But, folks, it's always been great stuff. Great stuff and a great show. Appreciate you guys being a part of the conversation, all of the donations, super chats, calls, people in the comment section, the chat line, showing love. First full week back, doing this show, and this is awesome. And I mean, happy about this. Appreciate all of you guys. Appreciate all of you guys being a part here of the chat line, being a part of the conversation here. Thanks to every last one of you. But hey, here we go. We got some final few chats coming in here. Monica Petaway says here, I was supposed to catch up with you on Friday. However, I've had a lot going on with church activities, sports, and on the verge of earning my GED once I pass social studies. Go and get that GED, Monica. Go and get that GED. We're praying for you on this end. Supporting you, Monica, on this end. Absolutely. Going out there, going to get that GED. Proud of you on this end. Latoya writes in, if we went out and make the SEC championship and lose, are we out the playoffs? I don't think so. If you went out, go to the SEC title game and you lose, I still would think Bama's in there. Now, of course, we have to see how the committee plays this. But I think if Bama were to win out, make the SEC title game, and lose in the SEC title game, I don't think it would be out of the playoff. But let's again, we'll see. Jay McMillan, 23, writes in, welcome back, Roll Tide. Appreciate Jay McMillan helping us out right here, being part of the show. And last but not least, Keith Holcomb shouting out J-Mac, giving him a Roll Tide. Latoya Billingsley writes in, it would be our third loss. It would be Alabama's third loss. But like I said, we will see how the committee would go about judging that, or go about playing that if Alabama was to win out, make it to the SEC championship game and lose that match, would it still be into the playoff? But as always, people, appreciate all of you guys being a part of the show, making us your one-stop shop for all things Alabama football. And until next time, folks, hey, husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, do good, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored, getting that schoolwork done. As we're inching closer and closer to Thanksgiving here, you get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself, people. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, and your man Stephen M. Smith, God bless all of you guys. And until Wednesday, you've been listening to In My Own Words.